there are some new trends in innovation management, which is like innovation based on design principles. So feeling what the customer can feel how the customer feel, perhaps through rapid prototyping or with a lot of interaction. This starting a real conversation with the customer. A conversation is something we can share, but I cannot regulate. Conversation goes, naturally. A good conversation, at the end of a good conversation, we find out things that we haven't figured out at the beginning. This conversational aptitude is very important, both as an internal process team and also to involve into the team people that do not share the team languages or are just outside the standard procedure, management procedure. And conversation takes time. Takes a little bit of time to develop.
And this is exactly your work in MIT.
Right.
The project that you're working on, which I think fits very well in here, because really that fits in the early stages of any project, doesn't it? In fact, that's one of the most, I think, now that that you mention it, it's one of the most valuable contributions that the work that you're doing can make towards developing the kinds of products and services that people want. So let me ask you, if you look at Italy, particularly southern Italy, a big challenge has been to develop the kinds of products and services that can travel well, that can be exported, that can be in demand by the rest of the world. Of course, Italy is the place in the world where people come for fashion, where people come for food, people come for art. So in sort of keeping with that tradition, the challenge is how can we move other aspects of commerce outside beyond the walls of Italy. Would that then say, following your concept of diversity as an important element in the beginning of a project, and this process of discourse, of discussion, does Italy need to then take steps to move outside? Do the project teams need to include people outside of Italy? Is this a challenge?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. The success of many Italian products, especially in those industries you were mentioning, are based on excellence in some cases of excellent people, single individuals, in some other cases of excellent communities, like regional clusters. But those systems are closed. Once they have exhausted their initial creativity, they need renewal. Because otherwise they won't survive to their creators. That's our main challenge now. And in a global world, this means that you have to open your border. In this case are also cultural borders, geographical borders, and you have to make conversation with people from all over the world.
Yes.
With the right attitude. In a conversation, your objective is to discover and share. This is something we have to improve, because one thing is to conversate with your best friends. You share everything. You share the language, you share the values, you share the culture, you share a lot of experience. But another thing is to conversate with people coming from a completely different culture, with different priorities, different language. Language is an issue. Of course, to have a conversation. So,
well, in my experience in Infosys in China, in Shanghai, I was speaking with the managing director of the office of Infosys' large operation there, and he said the first thing he does when he puts together an international team, because in Shanghai, while it's a center for Infosys, they bring in people from India, from China, from Japan and Korea. He says the first thing he has them do is to share meals together. So one group, the Chinese will cook a Chinese meal, the Koreans will cook and he said that starts to break down the differences. And it goes along with what you're saying, is how do you break down the cultural barriers to allow this conversation to evolve? And I suppose it does evolve as the conversation starts to address more and more substantive issues, and it brings people in many dimensions of their thoughts in. Then, of course, the conversation starts to get bigger and include more and more, and the benefits of diversity really start to show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good example.
Yeah.
That's a very good example.
Yeah.
You need, in this kind of conversation, you need to foster curiosity and awareness of each other, which of course is based on knowledge, but it's knowledge with some motivation to discover what the other people can offer, why they are different from us, and how we can combine our skills in a better way.
Yeah. Wonderful. Professor Iandoli, thank you so much. From beginning of the project where you spend the time to plan to the diversity that helps you plan in the right way with the right focus, where diversity may mean geographical, cultural diversity as well. Wonderful discussion, and I thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you. Professor Iandoli from the University of Naples, Federico II in beautiful Naples. Thank you.